You do not.
Guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. I'm super excited to have this crowd of gentlemen on the show. We have Jesse Ayres, we have Bryan Weiss, Ty Southern, and Lance Price. We are here to talk about the VETSports Golf Tournament, January 25th, over in Leesburg. You can see it. It's the Battle of the Branches. I'm super excited to learn about that. You can sign up at vetsports.org, or we'll have a link below that I think will be a little more get you to where you need to be. But you know how much I love veterans, and I love anything that has to do with vets. And so I'm super excited to have you guys back on the show, most of you back on the show. And we're going to talk about each of these gentlemen and what they do, but we're going to focus mostly on VETSports and the golf tournament. So welcome, friends. How are you today?
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, doing well.
We're good. We're
Look,
good.
Now they're quiet. You should have seen
Loving life, can't complain.
live. Woo!
Try not to step on each other's.
Again.
Try not to step on each other's toes.
Yeah, you guys do a great job. All right. So I told you before we went live, before we get into the nitty gritty and talk about the event, talk about VETSports, that the audience always loves to know a little bit of origin story. So we're going to not make an error, and we're going to talk to Jesse Ayres. First, Jesse, tell us a little bit about you, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you having me on. So I was a Navy veteran. So this year is a big year, right? Go Navy, beat Army, right? So we actually threw the football this year. The score was higher than 6-9, so that was cool.
Let's go.
Yeah, so always been a big sports guy prior service. When I was in the Navy, a chief came in and said, you know how to hit a baseball or softball or whatever. Can you hit a golf ball? And so I got invited to the Admirals Club, on Wednesdays for prime rib and 9 holes of golf type of thing, right? And so then once new lieutenants and other people from different ships started showing up, I kind of felt that there was something going on the side there. I got the scraps of meat, but I'm pretty sure he was hustling some 2 packs a day or something. I don't know. But yeah, so sports and veterans, and so I'm with an organization called VETSports. And it's simply that. So veterans that are getting active. So the whole idea is to help, reintegration, get back, camaraderie, fellowship, being back on a team, getting that structure back. And so, we have chapters, so to speak, across the country, Germany and Japan as well. So we're really trying to show veterans, hey, you don't have to be by yourself at any point. If you have any interest in athletics, we have an avenue for that.
It's very cool. Yeah, I think I've done a lot of veteran shows, and I think the main focus has always been transitioning out is such a challenge, coming out into corporate world and no team and no having your back and camaraderie. And I think a lot of vets, from my experience, are challenged by that. It's a different world to try to navigate through. So very cool. I love it. Well, we're excited to learn about the event, but I'm going to keep going to my right anyway. Bryan Weiss. Brian, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
I feel warmer just looking at all you Florida people through the camera.
Right? Yeah, you're up in the cold north, my friend.
Polar vortex as we speak.
Oh, jeez. No, thank you.
Feels
so
like
tell
50.
us about you.
So I'm one of the original founders of SFH, or We Are SFH. Born and raised up here. Stepfather was 1st Platoon of Marines in Vietnam, which is kind of how I hooked up with these guys in a way without hooking up with these guys. But it's one of the reasons that we do a lot of the veteran stuff we do. It's the clothing and the hoodies and all that allow us to, I guess, build a community that helps bring everybody together for events like this. Jesse had reached out to us, I guess, last summer somehow, and happened to be doing a local thing up here in New Jersey. And I went and met him and watched what he did and how he pulled people together and raised money by hitting a golf ball 3,000 yards. I mean, the ball went up, and some of them I don't think have still landed. But I mean, just watching him again pull people together and raise some money for the event up there and just becoming part of the family. I just knew it was somebody that we wanted to work with, and we got invited to do this event down in Florida, and I hope that this will be the first of many that we actually get to do together.
I love
For
it.
sure, for sure.
Tell us, for those people who don't know, and this is not a PG show, so what is We Are SFH?
Go ahead, Ty.
Hi. Still fucking here.
Yeah.
Is the clothing line we all are here from. Me and Bryan are two of the original fuckers. But now we hired Lance as soon as we were allowed to start hiring people, and Lance has been there since the beginning, but wasn't technically one of the founding members, which is weird to say out loud, because he's been there the whole freaking time. But I apologize. But I'm what's left of Ty Southern. I was raised in Jacksonville, Florida. Joined the Marines at 17, 2 days after high school graduation. Served a 3-year sentence at Camp Lejeune, where I went to Iraq and Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, stepped on a fucking bomb, and then got ejected from the game did 2.5 years in the hospital, regrowing my arm from the elbow down and rehabilitating. And when I retired in 2012, I basically said I would never leave someone in the lurch who's going through some shit. And so when I was approached about a clothing line that would not only go for veterans who've been through a bunch of shit, but people and whatever their fight is and how much shit the world has to go through every single day. So we sell jerseys to a team of warriors, fighters, and survivors, trying to give back to people, make sure they know they're not going through it alone.
I love that.
Oh,
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Every time I hear your story, I'm inspired.
My bad.
You're an
You should get
you're an
that looked at.
inspiration, Ty.
Oh,
how
will
you
you
couldn't
stop
be.
doing that to people, Ty? Man.
All right, Lance. Lance, last but not least, my friend.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
least.
I'm Lance Price. I'm one of the co-owners of SFH, and I came
SFH, yes.
a little bit. For some reason, that was We Are SFH all together. Like,
Yeah, I get it.
No big
I know
deal.
you did. I know you know how to spell it.
Hey, I'm still fucking here. My brain's not that great, but it works from time to time, and that's how we get by. So 18 plus years in the Navy before getting medically retired after multiple combat deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, resulting of multiple events of saying hello to IEDs, and resulting in TBI, PTSD. Now you get who you got sitting in front of you now, thanks to some great opportunities that were given to me for treatment for PTSD and TBI. And because of that opportunity, now we're just giving back and trying to find those who need help in whatever struggle they're going through and make it happen. And that's, as long as we're still fucking here, that's our mission. And Ty also forgot our biggest mission in life is probably to touch one more person, to push them on a positive road down the road every day. So,
Or he left some meat on the bone for you to have.
Yeah.
And I guess
on purpose.
and none of us covered that 50% of our net proceeds go back to those that need it the most, whether it's wounded vets, recovering addicts, anyone that's fought their fight and come out on the other side and is still fucking here. 50% of our net proceeds go back to those kind of organizations.
We're gradually teaming up with as many as we can who help with those fights. So we vet whoever all the way through and go to their events and things like that and figure out what they're about, so that people know that 50% is going to people who are actually doing work, and it'll end up helping people for real.
Is it I was going to ask that, so I'm glad you brought up the word vet in a different way. Is it difficult for you all to vet organizations? I feel like there's a lot out there. One of the things I've heard from a lot of veterans is that they've either gotten involved with an organization that really wasn't for them, didn't have a real goal to help them. It was a lot about raising funds, but the funds never got to anybody. So what's the vetting process like? I think that's important.
Absolutely. That was one of the things when I came on board that was very important to me, because I stepped on some different types of explosives once I got out when it came to nonprofits that ended up not going so well. So I learned by that and realized that everyone is not the same. Their heart's not in the same spot, and they may be trying to line their pockets and not going toward the effort that they claim they're going toward, or they keep it so muddy that you don't even know what anything's going toward. We can tell you 50% of our net proceeds goes to someone quarterly, whether it's an individual in need or organization in need, or for or a hand up. We can tell you that when we go to different events, if we have not had the opportunity to do events with these guys, I myself will go to these events, see what's going on, figure out the process to find out, okay, is this who we want to align ourselves with? Because yes, we're clothing. First, we're a brand first, and we never want to align ourselves with something that's going to affect our brand negatively.
We talked about this when we met,
Yeah,
Lance.
we did.
I'm on the military advisory council for our local realtor association, and we almost stepped into that because the vetting process isn't necessarily easy. You think everything's in line until you really take a deep dive. And I bring this up because a lot of times when I do shows with veteran organizations, people will reach out and ask me if they've been vetted. And so it's super important to talk about how important that is to you all, and to know that you're vetting everyone, and that your mission is truly to help and not to make money for yourselves.
Yeah, and a great nonprofit. I mean, and Tyler's seen it firsthand. I can walk up to them and say, hey, can you show me your numbers and show me, hey, where all your money goes to and everything? And literally brings a tablet out to me and Tyler and says, here, this is how we do it. And we're like, oh, okay, that works. So, I mean,
and we like to talk to people that they have helped and or supposedly have helped, and get some, user feedback basically, as well during the process. Do our best to get a good, well-rounded look at whoever we're dealing with, because especially if we're doing a co-brand, we're going to have a SFH baby with their logo and put it on shirts.
Right.
Like he said, we don't want to end up being hitched to anyone who would take advantage of people who need help.
Correct.
Because God forbid. We've all had experience with that crap. So
yeah, I mean, we do the best we can with the organizations, and a lot of them are repeat organizations. Irreverent Warriors, we've done a couple years. Rock to Stop Suicide, we've done a couple times. There's an event up here called Rock the Perky where we personally know the people. It's a fentanyl overdose event that goes on. We've done a For Love of the Veterans event. The event that I wound up doing with Jesse. One of the twin brothers committed suicide, and it was a suicide awareness event. And because Jesse said it was okay and he was there, I vetted that so quickly that anything that sold that weekend, 50% went to those folks. And you got to
partner with Wheelchair for Warriors, Round Canopy, which is an amazing place in Florida. We Fight Monsters, which is a great group that does all kinds of stuff. Black Rifle Company, not coffee, is another great company that we've aligned with. There's just great opportunities out there. You just have to peel back the onion a little bit.
So you already did with the amazing VETSports. So let's talk about the event, Jesse. Because you guys have gotten a lot of players already.
Yeah. So January 25th, it's at the Plantation in Leesburg, very close to the Villages, as far as a reference point. So once again, through these connections, so I travel the state, travel the country now, right? I'm expanding up into different regions through different relationships. I'm a military long drive world champion.
Nice.
So, that's that little backstory, before we started and stuff. They really found out that in order to really make a change or make a difference, you got to be on stage, right? You got to find a platform. And so I found that, once I did this and I found out there's 1,500 golf courses alone in the state of Florida. And I found out that there's millions of, charities or nonprofits that like to do these golf type events. And so I said, okay, how can I use my talents, to raise both awareness and funds for veterans and first responders, and so it just kind of grew. So I've been with VETSports myself. I first came on during the transition out of the Navy, and met them in Jacksonville, played on a lot of their softball teams and stuff like that. And I knew right away I wanted to take a more active role. And so when I moved to Orlando, the gentleman there in Jacksonville moved out of state. And so I kind of assumed that presidential role, so to speak, of the chapter for North Central Florida. And so from there, we kind of expanded into a Vietnam softball team. So we have veterans from 18 to 88.
Wow.
So the goal is to Ty's and Lance's point, you never want to leave anybody behind. And so when I spoke to this, older crowd, so to speak, right, they that was their conversation. They felt left behind. And so they were like, wow, someone still cares. Like, we play softball together, but we can't afford it. Or we don't have uniforms. Or we don't have. So it's been awesome just to see, like, their face light up, after, 60 years or 70 years. And they're still out playing with, hips and asthma and heart valves. And, like, they don't care. No stopping, no stopping them.
Well, because there's camaraderie, right?
There is. That's it. I mean, that's it. They're around all the guys on the same team, wearing the same uniform again. You instantly get that nostalgia, that like drawback, that same feeling. You can put yourself. I mean, the ball field's the battlefield in their eyes, or the soccer field or whatever it might be, right? They're still there. You still live it. You still think it. So we just kind of use that as a focal point, so to speak, for them. But back to the tournament, yeah. So it's going to be January 25th. We'll have a guest speakers, which are these, these guys are going to get up there. We'll have some contest holes. We have putting for booze. So where we got a local liquor company that just said, hey, here's 100 bottles and a couple cases, and you hit it, you get it. So yeah, I think the Ubers are going to be in full effect. Fill out that city.
Yeah, for sure.
So VETSports.org, but we also have another link that we're going to put up below. That's a better link, right? For them to register if they want, because there's not that many spaces left on to play. Can people come out and volunteer still? Do you need donations for any kind of?
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, we're about 30 players away, and that could be changing as we speak, away from like a sellout, so to speak. That's 144 players. So what makes this unique is it's a two-man team versus a four-man, which is the traditional, charity type thing. Battle of the branches. So it's exactly what it is. So each team will be represented, representing their branch of service. Okay. So what's great is of the 144, so far, of the 110, 60 are veterans.
Wow. Awesome.
So we found veterans from around the state.
Space Force.
Space Force, Coast Guard, you can't see me. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
I actually met some in real life. It was really cool.
They're only 5 years old.
But yeah, but it's cool for these veterans from all different ages and abilities, right? It doesn't really matter, but they're out there once again representing their branch of service against the other branches, and that, and so all that, we're going to bring all that back in a fun environment.
So cool. All right, January 25th.
25.
You can sign up at the link below. You can still find out more at vetsports.org. For the clothing company, it's wearesfh.com. Jesse, Bryan, Ty, Lance, what a pleasure and honor to have you guys on. Super, super thankful for those of you who served and appreciate all that you do for our community. You guys get out and support. Veterans need our support. Don't think that they get it all from the VA. That's a whole nother show we can talk about. So there's a lot of
more than 20 minutes
that really want to fill the gaps. And it's super important for us to get out and support our veterans. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
I am absolutely going to try to be there. So if you want me to be there, please reach out to me. Not you all, but somebody else. I'd love to go. If you have an item to donate, you want to get involved, you can reach out to Jesse. If you want to know more about We Are SFH, you can reach out to Bryan, Ty, or Lance. Thankful for you guys. We did it. Awesome. Right at 20 minutes even.
And we do have the collaborative shirt, right, Brian? Is that
Well,
that at the event? At the event.
Yeah, I guess so.
No. The ones we got that we're gonna have. But I'm saying, like, you guys' website where you guys will have clothing on hand, a full thing.
Yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna have our gear there.
For
we're
selling.
Yeah,
awesome.
We will have gear. I guess we're gonna have gear afterwards at the after party. We're gonna have gear before. Might have Ty running around in a golf cart throwing some gear to people. Undecided yet.
Yeah. If we get a t-shirt cannon, I'm on it.
There we go.
Didn't you say something about if the slots filled up, Jesse, there were still slots for lunch afterwards or something?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the golf is just the appetizer for what's really going down. So afterwards, we're going to be at what they call the Manor. Seats
Nice.
about
Yes.
350 people. And we'll have it filled up. We have 200 spaces for golf carts, 100 spaces for parking for cars.
Nice.
And this community is out in full force. We'll have the fire department, the commissioner, the chamber, the whole thing. So they're 100% bought into this mission. That we have amazing speakers from Battle of the Bulge, all kinds of stuff. Literally a century of patriotism. And then we even have the ROTC local high school kids that are coming in and doing the bag drop stuff.
Yeah.
So we have the pipeline. I call it the pipeline to patriotism. So we're affecting. Yeah. So we're getting these young men and women, right, at the age 16, 17, 18, right, still in high school, that say, hey, my dad did this, or my grandpa did this, or I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, come be a part of our community now. Right. And then so that way they're never alone before they even get in. And so they'll be out there involved.
Well, it's an event. I want you guys to get involved and get back and enjoy and celebrate. Celebrate our vets. I'm
excited to come down and be there.
I know. You know what? I'm just going to commit to being there.
It'll be a
3-day.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You're in. You said it live. You said it
Heard
live.
I did say it live. Oh my God, that means it's real. You guys are enjoying. Thank you so much. VETSports.org. We are SFH.com. You need to reach any of these fine gentlemen, you can reach out to me and I will get you to them. Thank you all very much, truly, from my heart. I appreciate it.
See y'all.
All right, guys, January 25th. Don't forget.